Hey everybody, it's Matt from the house, and in this video we're going to show you how to ollie a snowboard. Let's check this out. Alright, for those of you that don't know, basically an ollie is how to get the board up off the snow and into the air without a jump. So a lot of people, think like, oh, I'm not trying to do any tricks or, get on any rails and jumps and stuff. And actually an ollie is a good skill to have no matter what kind of rider you are. Mainly because you might be one of those times where as you're cruising along, there might be something you see that, a stick, or, a rock, lump of snow, even like some sort of dip or something in the snow, something that you can't just ride over, and you might not be able to, have enough time to turn or stop and get out of the way. So being able to ollie over to something you can do really, really quick, just to get over something. You don't have to, ollie super, super high, but just knowing how to do that can definitely help, a lot, no matter, again, no matter what kind of rider you are. All right, so first up, we're gonna use the flex of the snowboard, and that's what's gonna give you that that spring and that pop. And boards, they put things in the boards. Obviously, your board's got your wood. Depending on the kind of wood can have, depend on how much spring and pop you're gonna have. The fiberglass can depend on what kind of spring and pop you're gonna have. Also, too, a lot of times companies will put carbon strips, or carbon and flax and Kevlars and all sorts of little extra, things. Basically, when you flex the board, it helps make the boards, snap back and get back to its original position faster. And all that translates into an ollie. And where you're gonna actually see that is it's gonna be in the tail of the board. So when you go to ollie, you're basically gonna, have a little bit of speed. You don't have to be going crazy fast or anything, but obviously you wanna be moving. I mean, technically you can do ollie on flat ground when you're not moving at all. But while you're riding, basically you're gonna find, whatever it is that you wanna ollie over, and obviously you wanna practice this on just flat snow, not trying to go over anything. But you basically, what you wanna do is you wanna kind of rock back with your weight a little bit, and you're gonna flex that tail. So it's kind of like you're just trying to lean back and kind of do a wheelie on the board and really get the flex into that tail. And you'll notice that obviously every time I let go, the board springs back. So the more you flex it, the faster it's gonna wanna spring back. So again, we're just rolling back onto that tail. And then what you're doing is you're kind of jumping off of your back foot. So most of that energy is gonna be loaded into your back foot. Your front foot, you're lifting that up to get the board up off the snow. So what you're gonna do is, again, lean back, load that tail up, jump off of that back foot, and that's what's gonna help release all that pressure that's loaded up into the tail of the board and help spring you into the air. So as soon as that happens, and when you jump, you basically level out your feet. So it's kind of like you're lifting your front foot up, jumping off your back foot, and then bringing your back foot up to match your front foot. If you lift that front foot up higher, you can load up the board more, and you can actually ollie higher too. Not saying that you can lift your foot this high and then all of a sudden ollie this high, but the higher you lift that front foot up, the more you can load the tail up and the more spring you get. Once you get to a certain point where you're ollieing, a little bit higher, it's, it comes with a little more experience and skill to really get that board really high off the ground. But you'd be surprised, after, a few years of snowboarding and, just ollieing over things, that you get better at it, and, you can really pop over some pretty big sized things. But again, it's all about using the board, and you got to kind of shift your weight around a little bit, and it's just a matter of, kind of figuring that out, and just the right amount of leaning back to load the tail, the right height to get that nose up, and then when you spring, obviously you can't be leaning back. You need to go off that back foot and level your body out a little bit as well. So when you do land, you can land both feet at the same time. And sometimes too, ollieing into things can actually be a big help too. If you need to get a little bit more speed, to hit a certain jump, or, just to get if you just want a little more speed in general, if you actually ride over like a little bump and just kind of ride into it, yeah, you're gonna get a little bit of speed, but if you actually ollie and you land in that, kind of transition there, you're actually going to get more speed coming out of it. So that's where the Ollie can come into play. And that one's a little bit harder just because not only do you have to do this and this, but now we have to shift our weight forward a little bit more. You want to try to match the slope that you're landing on. But again, great tool that you can use, no matter what skill or rider you are, and definitely something to help you, just make your riding experience a little more enjoyable throughout the day. All right, well, thanks for checking out our video on how to Ollie. If you got any questions about, how to get that board off the ground, or if you're having any problems, in general, learning how to Ollie your board, leave us some comments down below. We're on there every day trying to answer your questions. Like, subscribe, get that bell on so you can find out when the new videos drop. And definitely, like I said, whether you're riding in the park and stuff or you're just cruising, you can always benefit from an Ollie, and get out there and ride and practice those Ollies too, because any day of riding is a good day of riding.